Hey guys, it's Miss Fearing here. Welcome to our first video of the year, which is our learning target, I can solve multi-step equations. So here's our steps for solving multi-step equations. There's 4 things we always kind of want to go through, and these are the same steps that you've seen before. Step number 1, we want to simplify each side of the equation, which is like our distributive property or combining like terms. Step 2, we want to get all of the x's to one side of the equal sign. And then we're going to use addition or subtraction to cancel the constant, and then multiplication or division to cancel the coefficient. So here's my first 2 examples here. First thing we're going to do is that step 1, we're going to combine like terms. So remember, combining like terms is putting x's with x's, y's with y's, all of those good things. So I have x plus 5x, so I get 6x. I still have the minus 5 equals 1. Now I'm going to go on to step 2, which is the addition or the subtraction of getting rid of that constant. So right now I have a minus 5, so the opposite of that is adding 5. What I do to one side, I got to do the other. So I get 6x equals 1 plus 5, which is 6. Right now it's saying 6 times x equals 6. So to undo timesing, I have to divide. So I'm end up with x equals 1. Go ahead and look at problem number 2. I got to get all my x's to one side. Right now I have an x on each side. So I'm going to go ahead and this negative 2x, I'm going to go ahead and add that over to the other side. So I'm going to plus 2x. So I have 6x plus 2x. I get 8x. I still have minus 11. These canceled out and I still have equals 5. So now I have to get rid of the constant. I have minus 11, so I'm going to add 11. I'm left with 8x equals 16. 8 times x equals 16, so I have to divide to undo timesing. So I get x equals 2. A couple more examples here. When you see the parentheses like this, we know that we have to distribute this through. So I'm actually multiplying those things. So negative 4 times x gives me negative 4x. Negative 4 times negative 3 gives me a positive 12. I'm going to equal that negative x. Right now I have x's on both sides. I don't like that, so I'm going to get all of my x's to one side. I'm going to add these 4 x's. So I'm left with just 12 on this side equals a negative 1 plus 4 gives me 3x. So right now I have 3 times x, so to undo timesing we divide, and I get x equals 4. Last but not least, I have this big equation here. We only have the 1x on the one side, so we're good there. I'm going to get rid of that constant then. So by subtracting 8, opposite of that is adding 8. Now I want to rewrite this fraction. Anytime you have a fraction, you can write the variable on the top of the fraction, and it keeps it the same. So I'm going to rewrite it as 2x divided by 3 is going to equal the 10 plus 8, which gives me 18. So now we're going to do this piece by piece. To get rid of dividing by 3, we have to times by 3. What you do to one side, you got to do to the other. So I'm left with 2x equals 54. And now I can divide by that 2. So x is going to equal 27. Number 5, Alex belongs to a music club. In this club, students can buy a student discount card for $19.95. This card allows them to buy CDs for $3.95 each. That's going to be a good word for us, each. After 1 year, Alex has spent $63.40. The question is asking us how many CDs did Alex buy throughout the year? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start writing an equation for this. The one thing that Alex has to pay no matter what is the $19.95 for the card. If he wants to go ahead and use this, he's got to get the card for that price. He is then going to pay $3.95 each CD he buys. So that's the thing that's going to be changing. That's going to be our variable in this situation. We know that Alex spent a total of $63.40. So now we're going to go ahead and solve this just like we've been doing. We only have the one x, so we're good. I'm going to get rid of the constant. Remember, the constant is the thing without the variable, so that's the 1995. So right now that's a positive 1995, so I'm going to go ahead and make it a subtracting 1995 or a negative 1995. That's going to cancel and I'm left with $3.95. X is going to equal 43.45. To get rid of the 3.95 times x, I need to divide by 3.95. That's going to go ahead and cancel this out, and I'm left with x equals 11. So Alex can buy 11 CDs is what he bought throughout the year. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to start looking at proportions. Proportions are two ratios that are equal to each other. When you see this word ratios, it just means they're fractions. They're two fractions that are equal to each other. And to do this, we're going to go ahead and we're going to cross multiply. So we're going to do top times the opposite bottom is going to equal top times the opposite bottom. If you haven't had enough time to write this down, go ahead and pause the video and finish writing the notes before moving forward. Remember, this is at your own pace, so you can pause as much as you need to. Example number 6. I have 15 over 2 equals x over 8. So right now I have a fraction equal to a fraction. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to cross multiply these. So that means I'm going to take the bottom of the first times the top of the second, and that's going to equal the bottom of the second times the top of the first. So 2 times x gives me 2x. 8 times 15 gives me 120. Now I'm just going to solve the equation like I know how. So 2 times x, to get rid of timesing, I divide. So I'm going to get x is going to equal 60. Same thing for number 7. I have a proportion. I have a fraction equal to a fraction. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cross multiply these. So I have the bottom of the first times the top of the second is going to equal the bottom of the second times the top of the first. So x times 3.27x just gives me 3.27x. 11 times 6 gives me 66. To undo timesing, we divide. Don't let that fraction throw you off. Just go ahead and plug that into your calculator, and you're going to get x is equal to 20.18. Here's number 8. I want you to go ahead and try this one on your own. See what you can come up with, and then unpause the video and see if you get the correct answer. So here's what I got. I got x equals -4. What I did was I did the bottom of the first times the top of the second, and I put this big guy in parentheses. Don't let that throw you off. And that equals the bottom of the second times the top of the first. Right away, since that guy is in parentheses, I have the distributive property that I have to do. So I got 2x minus 4 equals 3x. And then I have x's on both sides, so I had to get all of my x's to one side before I could finish solving. Right here, that 1x equals -4. That's the same thing as saying I could divide by 1 to get rid of that 1. But that just means x equals -4. Number 9, our last one here. Miss Duncan can run 5 miles in 48 minutes. If she keeps this pace, how long will it take her to run a marathon? 26.2 miles. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to set up a proportion for this. We're going to have our miles on top and our minutes on the bottom. So here's the proportion I'm going to end up with. Miss Duncan can run 5 miles in 48 minutes. We want to know, if she keeps this pace, how long it will take her to run 26.2 miles. Well, miles is on top, so I want that to go on top, and I don't know how many minutes that's going to take me, so that's going to be my x. So I'm just going to go ahead and cross multiply. So I get the bottom of the first times the top of the second is going to equal the bottom of the second times the top of the first. So 48 times 26.2 gives me 1,257.6. X times 5 is just 5x. So now we're just solving. I want to get the x alone, so I have to get rid of that 5. So I have to divide by 5. Divide by 5. Go ahead and use your calculator, and you should get x equals 251.52. So my answer is going to be 251.52 minutes. If you wanted to go ahead and convert that into hours, you could, but I would just accept this as your final answer as well. So that's going to be it for our notes today. Right now, your job is to find Unit 1, Practice 1, and go ahead and complete that before class tomorrow. Have a good one.